Well, hello there, perfect drafters, and welcome back to what is my 5th perfect draft beer keg review. And today I'm going to be reviewing Leffe Blonde, the Belgian Abbey beer, and that's been about 800 years in the making. It's quite an interesting history if you want to look into it, but I won't go through that today. My videos have been getting increasingly longer as it is. I've noticed that, so I'm trying to be a bit more concise today. You might have noticed from last time I had the 2 kegs set up. My older machine's really been struggling in these temperatures to keep down to 3 degrees, and I did just give up the other day. I think I mentioned in my last video, get a fan behind it and things, but you just find yourself faffing around. I've seen all sorts of creative solutions to try and keep that keg cool on the Perfect Draft forums. My best advice with that is to just get a pro. Like I've said in some of my other videos, the pleasure of it for me is the simplicity. Just pop a keg in, might wait an hour or two to get down if you've chilled it correctly beforehand, and get pouring. It's all about the convenience for me. And just touching back on that last video, that Stella Unfiltered went down really well. I kind of forgot how much I did enjoy it when I have had it in the past, because it's been when people have been round, I've only really managed to get maybe 1 or 2 pints out of it before it's been emptied. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that one. I'm going to be keeping an eye out for that one on the offers when they're sub £30. As you can probably tell from some of the attire I've got my machine dressed up in, I do quite like Leffe or Leffe. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I usually say Leffe. It is my, well, it was my absolute favourite on the Perfect Draft until about 1 or 2 years ago. They did dip the percentage by 0.6%, so it's now 6% ABV. They always say it doesn't affect the taste, but it definitely did with this one. But I will still buy it when it's £30 a keg, whereas before maybe I'd rate it as a 9 out of 10 beer. Probably say it's more like an 8 out of 10 beer, and trying to give it that objective look despite the clear subjectivity present in the background here. If you've not had it on the Perfect Draft before, it's quite likely that you might have tried it in Wetherspoons, and this is pretty much the same stuff as far as I'm concerned. Same mouthfeel. It does vary a little bit, like your keg can vary a little bit. Sometimes they'll bring it to you with quite a nice head, lots of bubs, sometimes it'll seem quite flat. And that's been my kind of experience on the Perfect Draft. It might just depend on when you're having it within the lifespan of that keg. It might depend on how it's poured. But the taste is always pretty good. Really good mouthfeel. It used to be for me Leffe Prestige 10 out of 10, Leffe Blonde 9 out of 10. I did like Leffe Summer as well, I'd give that 8 out of 10. It did feel like last year and the year before it was more like a discounted keg. You would quite easily get it at about £30 a keg. This year they've released it, not seen it part of any offer yet, gone up to over £40 a keg. Not sure it's worth that, to be honest. But then again, it seems to sell out, so they can justify the price. And I'd say Leffe Prestige is still a 10. I have had that a couple of months ago, enjoyed that a lot, as always. And Leffe Blonde, like I say, still steadily enjoying it. If you can find it for £30 a keg, I think that's like a decent price for it. It's the same beer as well that you do get in the bottles, but you do get that better mouthfeel on the keg. And at £30 a keg, considering your keg return, probably looking about £2.38 a pint. And you'll probably find the bottles, they're basically like wine bottles, 750ml. You'll probably pick up those up for about £3.40, which works out about £2.58 a pint. So you're kind of getting it slightly cheaper on the keg at £30. If you get it at the standard price, it's more like £3.12 a pint. So yeah, try and get it in one of those deals is what I'm trying to say. Being concise isn't going well too far. The app recommends setting it to 6 degrees. I have it at 4. I've varied it a lot over the years. I have tried it at 6. Tried it at 3, I've tried it colder at 2. I prefer it at 4, it's just right for me. Bit of extra flavour, but still refreshingly cold. And I do just feel it has that better mouthfeel at that chilled temperature. If you don't have one already, if you see it bundled with one of the Leffe glasses, they're absolutely gorgeous. They've got this Abbey kind of engraved into the glass. If you do get a pint in Wetherspoons, you'll get this glass as well. And I don't want to promote any kind of 5-finger discount, but I do get a sense that that is quite a regular thing. But I'm not going to condone crime on this channel. I got quite lucky actually. I wanted some half-pint glasses and they kept sending me pint glasses. So I said, can you send me some half-pint ones, please? And they kept doing the same thing until I gave up and just ended up with a couple of extra pairs of glasses, which was great. But, you know, I would quite like a half-pint Leffe glass if possible. And if you're still new to the Perfect Draft and you're interested in these kind of personalised bits, just get yourself on eBay. I think it was PD Customs I got this from a couple of years ago. I'm not sure if they're still going, but there are a few places on eBay you can get various Perfect Draft things. Just make sure if you've got different machines, you've got the right connection there. You can usually specify on the order what you need. This mat came with one of the orders and it's pretty nice. It's getting a bit tired now. I could do with a new one, but it's still yellow. If you're thinking of pairing a Leffe with some food, the app recommends chicken, cheeses, stuff like that. I'm quite interested in doing what I'm going to call Belgfest in a couple of months' time. Every year we have been doing Oktoberfest in our little bar here, and I am getting a bit bored of the German theme, and there's so many good beers on the Perfect Draft. If you do like your Belgian beers and you don't have a Perfect Draft already, I'd highly recommend it. Keep an eye on this channel. I've got some triple Carmelia in, and I've also got some Leffe Blonde. I'll be trying that over the next month or so as we get deeper into the World Cup. I'm kind of building up to it percentage wise, what I'm drinking, I think. Saving the strong ones for the more tense moments in the tournament. So, as usual, it's a fresh keg. I'm not expecting the best first pour. They can be quite lively, and one perk of only having the one machine is a bit easier for this video. I'm not fighting past another machine to get to it. Hopefully you'll get a slightly better view of what I'm doing here. I am missing that second machine already though. It is a bit cooler today. It might end up back out here in time for the next England game against Congo. So, like I say, got the nice Leffe chalice. If you don't want to have one of these, if you want something similar, it does have a bit of nucleation at the bottom. So try and pour into a nucleated glass if you can. Just get another close look at that nice embossed abbey there. There's probably some long history to that specific abbey that they're using. Anyway, I'm rambling and I said I wouldn't, so let's get pouring. Oh yeah, in the last video we tried the thing off and it did pour a better beer, but like I say, I just do everything as it should be done, save a bit of faff, and when you've got people around it does look a bit like your machine's broken really, missing that metal thing. So gone back to normal, and let's see how the pour goes. Bring you a little bit closer. Pretty happy with that. Let's give it a Timmy Toppy too. Notice, I think one of the reasons they might have given me those half pint glasses at Perfect Draft is it does only say half pint, it doesn't actually have a pint line, so maybe that's where they've got confused. But that is a pint in there. I am loving that. I've seen it have more bubs when I've poured it in the past, but that is quite nicely carbonated for me. It's not too much to gas you up. Beautiful colour. This is the kind of reason you buy your Perfect Draft machine, I think. Like I say, you can get this in bottles now. It is the same as what you'll get in the machine, but it just pours it so well. I am gifted a bottle every now and again, you know, Father's Day, birthdays and stuff. I notice the difference. Much prefer it in a keg. It does get drank in a bottle obviously, and it is appreciated to those people who have bought me a bottle of Leffe in the past, but you can't beat this. I'm just going to give it a bit of a Timmy Toppy too before I sit down, and we'll discuss it further. Not in too much of a rambly way, hopefully. Pardon you. So, obviously, I am a massive fan of Leffe, as you can tell, so it's going to be a positive review, isn't it? Despite those kind of caveats, it's not as good as it used to be. A couple of regrets there. InBev, stop doing it. There's not been too much controversy on the Perfect Draft recently, although there are rumours they're going to be doing some other annoying things. But yeah, not universally liked Leffe, I have to say. I'm always quite keen to introduce people to it, and it is a bit banana-y, which isn't a normal expected taste for beer, I suppose. But I like it. Like, I'm not always a massive fan of fruity beers myself, but for some reason this one, just the perfect blend of between beer and those kind of fruity notes. Great mouthfeel, very refreshing. Does smell a bit funky. I always think that puts people off sometimes. But I would say get yourself to a Wetherspoons if you're thinking about getting a keg. Get like a jacket potato with a Leffe, £7. Pint of Leffe on its own is about £4.55 I think in there. Get it as part of a meal deal. That's the cheapest one, a jacket potato, but goes pretty well with a curry I find. And sample it that way. If you like it there, get the keg. So without further ado, here we go. Cheers. Yep, still brilliant for me. It's always just tinged with that slight regret because I still do remember what it was like before. And taking that ABV out slightly has affected the taste in my opinion. It's just a slightly duller taste. And I know it's not me turning it down to 4. So I've tried it higher since they changed it as well. But if you've never had the 6.6%, that's obviously not going to bother you. I think if you are slightly intrigued by it, you probably are going to like it. It is its own thing. It's its own distinct taste. For some people that's a good thing. For some people it's a bad thing. But I think most people will enjoy it, as I certainly am. So that's Leffe on the perfect draft. Like I say, back in the day, would give that a 9 out of 10. It's probably more like an 8 out of 10. I know I'm not really doing out of 10s on this channel, but just to show you how I kind of rate it against other beers that I've tried on this channel so far. Like I say, it is its own distinctive taste. From what I've done so far, I'd liken it most to Le Chouffe. Le Chouffe is better than this, but you pay more for it. And it's a bit harder to drink. Like, even though this is 6%, you can drink it in a session, I would say. It's not that strong that it's totally going to kill you. It's just got that bit extra compared to your standard lagers that you will feel after a few. Lovely on a summer's day. Like I say, Leffe Summer is really nice as well. I think that's 5.2% alcohol. So still strongish. I'm just waiting for that to maybe get a keg of that for £30. That tastes a bit more lagery. They did do a Leffe lager as well that I never got round to trying. I don't think that's going to come back on the perfect draft. Seemed like a limited edition thing. Leffe Blonde, kind of more recommended for your autumny, wintry kind of sessions. I don't really like dark beers, so I've not tried that yet. I had to try it in a bottle, wasn't a massive fan. But if you like that kind of thing, it's supposed to be good. Yeah, I'm going to sit here, enjoy the rest of this pint. Might pour a couple more. It is a bit early in the day, but it is that kind of beer. Good for the day, good for the evening. And highly recommended. I'll see you in the next video. I'm not sure what keg I'm doing next. I've got Triple Carmelite, San Miguel, and Quack Blonde. So I think San Miguel's the kind of outlier there. I might need to get that out of the way and then move on to the stronger two. Ready for those tense moments in the World Cup if we're not knocked out by the time I do my next video. And good luck to Norway tonight. See if Haaland can score a couple more. Hopefully they can knock out Brazil for us, because I don't really want to play against Brazil in the quarterfinals if we get that far. I think we'll show them too much respect and probably end up going out. Whereas Norway, I think we can handle Haaland. I can sit here contemplating and rambling all day, probably getting more progressively slurry as I do, but I won't. Cheers.